We all pray, Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. What does they mean? From untruth to truth and to lead from darkness to light. Now, when a client comes to us or when he reaches, all he expects is to take him from the darkness to light or from untruth to truth. Now, if we have to help him as a legal professional to reach from darkness to light, first we need to have our own lights. As far as all the advocates are concerned, there is one beautiful theory which is known as 7 lamps of advocacy. These are the lights that we need to carry. Hey guys, welcome to my legal classes. This is Ganesh Pujari, and in the series of professional ethics sessions, I am going to handle this subject today, which is a very interesting subject, that is 7 lamps of advocacy. Before getting into 7 lamps of advocacy directly, let us try understand who has brought this theory. It was a British justice, Sir Abbot Parry is the one who has brought this theory, and he was a British judge as well as a dramatist. He has given 7 lamps of advocacy, which are honesty, courage, industry, wit, eloquence, judgment, fellowship. Before I explain them one by one, I will help you guys to remember all these 7 terms. Now, there are 7 lamps which are given by Abbot Parry, and they are honesty, courage, industry, wit, eloquence, judgment, and fellowship. If I take out all the first letters, it will be H, C, I, W, E, J, F. And if I have to make a sentence from all these first words, I can make a sentence saying that High Court is with every judicial fellow. Now, whether these words are good or not good, don't bother too much about them. But if you see, I have picked all the first letters and made a sentence, and if you can remember this, your 50% of job is done. What is that? High Court is with every judicial fellow. From there, you can get all these first letters H, C, I, W, E, J, and F. I hope that technique helps. With that, let me get into honesty. Among the 7 lamps, the first lamp is honesty. We all have heard the common phrase, that is, honesty is the best policy. If honesty is the best policy, for a professional lawyer, honesty is an essential policy. For rest of the world, it is best policy, but for professional lawyer, it should be an essential policy. We need to be honest with entire system. First being the client. We need to explain them what is the position of the case, what are the merits of the case, and what are the demerits of the case, and possibly what are the chances of winning that case. If we are going to lose, we need to spell it out very clearly. And then we need to be honest with our opposite lawyer also. It is not about cheating someone and winning the case. It is not about deceiving the other person and winning the case. It is about being honest, because at least people are reaching court to get justice, not to check our brilliancy. So we need to be honest. That is why it is said, integrity is telling myself the truth and honesty is telling the truth to other people. So it needs a lot of courage, and we need to have it. So I concluded the first lamp, honesty, with the statement of courage, and courage is our second lamp. What is courage? Courage is our ability to stand for the case. We need to have that boldness to stand in front of the bench. We need to have that courage to argue for the case. We need to have the courage to convince the judge. We need to have the courage to give the right status to the client. Everywhere we need to have the courage. We need to have the courage to take the case also. That is also one of the important aspect. And by taking a case, you might get into risk, and you need to have the courage to face those risks also. And then, how are you getting this courage? By having lot of knowledge. You need to have lot of knowledge of law, and you need to keep learning new things from law. Unless and until you have knowledge of the topic or the subject, you can't have courage. It is said, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. You might fail in the journey, but you should not stop trying. that courage is the way for success to you. The third lamp is industry. The simple meaning of industry is the professional lawyer should be hardworking. We need to invest sufficient time to understand the case that we are handling, to understand the laws that are connected to our case, the opponent advocate, the judge who is going to give the judgment, and everything possible. It is not a 9 to 6 job. We need to think and think and think, and one right evidence can change the entire case and can give justice to someone. So that serious is our job. We cannot master the law because it is like a ocean. It becomes very difficult for someone to understand every other law. But we should keep attempting to learn whatever is required for our case. It couldn't last. Everyone was just killing time. But if all they had did was kill time, time would end up killing them. We need to remember this. Before time kills us, we have to ensure that we are utilizing time in a right way. We are hardworking. We are best utilizing the time that we have, and we give justice to every case that we fight. It doesn't matter whether we won the case or not, but it matters how much effort we had really put for that particular case. So that clamp should be taken very seriously. The fourth clamp that we should carry is witty. If the court hall is very serious or filled with lot of arguments, or if there is lot of angerness inside the court hall, then it becomes hell. It is not hall, it becomes hell. So what we need to do? Being a professional lawyers, we need to have humor or presence of mind with us. If there is no humor entire day, then people will lose their patience, and without patience there is no justice. So it is one essential aspect that we need to carry and ensure that the court hall has certain light aspects so that people think reasonably and then give justice to all the cases. Now, witty statements can be in a different way. I have just given one example here which says, "It's okay if you disagree with me. I can't force you to be right." Now, that's a witty statement. People after hearing to that will definitely laugh and then they continue. The arguments will not stop, but that one moment regenerates everybody's mood and they all start thinking freshly and they give a new thought and then they can reach to justice. That is why this is a very, very important aspect. The fifth and one of the most important clamp is eloquence. You need to be fluent in your language. You need to be fluent in verbal and non-verbal communication. You need to be fluent with your manners, your body language, your writing communication, all of that. You should be good with communication. And communication is not just about speaking, speaking and speaking. You should know when to give a right pause. A right pause gives a lot of psychological advantage to you. You should know when to use a face. You should use right face in a right time. And you should have very good knowledge of law. And when you are arguing inside the court hall, you should know how to refer the case laws or the sections. But when you are communicating to the client or witness, you cannot refer the sections. You need to tell them in their language. They need to understand. It is not about your brilliancy level. How exactly you are making them to understand is very, very important. And remember, if you are mastering in the knowledge and if you have a right attitude and if you have a right skill to communicate your things, then you are mastering the court hall. And it is said, as the grace of the man is in mind, so the beauty of the mind is eloquence. That means the one who is having highest eloquence will be loved by many of the people because that is the beauty of a man. When I am saying man here, it is not a man alone. I am using it as unisex word. Now the sixth lamp is judgment. The professional lawyer should be able to foresee what is coming next. When he is making a move, it is just like playing chess. Like when you are moving a pawn, you are seeing all the other 8 sides from where the opponent can play. Just like that, the professional lawyer should be able to anticipate what can be the counter arguments, what are the questions that may be coming from judge, or what can be the judgment, or what must be the expectation from the client. All of that should be foreseen by the professional lawyer. That is a very, very important skill one should have. The seventh clamp, and one of the most important clamp that we need to carry, is fellowship or friendship with colleagues. Remember, we have taken a case, and that is why we are arguing inside the court hall. It is not otherwise. We just wanted to argue. That is why we have taken a case. No, we have taken a case, and for the purpose of reaching the justice, we are arguing inside the court hall. That should be always in our mind. And once the argument is done, once we are coming out of the court hall, we have to respect the entire legal fraternity. Or when we are inside the hall or outside the hall, we need to respect the entire legal fraternity. And once after the hearing is over, he is no more our opponent advocate. He is just another legal person, and we need to maintain friendship with all of them. If we start fighting with every advocate in every single case that we are fighting, then all advocates will be enemies. Instead of fighting for justice, we will spend all our time spending with our own colleagues, which should not be the scenario. And whenever we are referring an opposite advocate, we should always use the respective terms like learned friend or learned counsel. And if we are referring a judge, we should use the term learned judge or your honor. Or if we are referring a high court judge, we should always use your lordship or my lord. All these respective terms should be used. That is very, very important clamp that we need to carry. Sir Edward Abbott Parry has given these 7 lamps of advocacy. However, Justice V.K. Iyer feels that there should be one more lamp with all the legal professionals, that is being tactful. We need to know how to handle the situation. Sometime in court hall it becomes mess because of the heavy, serious anger arguments. And in those conditions, we should know how to manage the scenario. We should know how to take control over our client. We should know how to take control over the opponent lawyer, and to an extent we should also be able to persuade the judge also. That technique should also be there with us, which will help us to manage some time to control the situation. And we are also saying that service is also one of the lamp that the advocates have to carry. That means the legal profession is not about making money, it is about helping the people to reaching the justice, and people are considering that also as one of the lamp of advocacy. That's all about the 7 lamps of advocacy. If you have liked my video, please subscribe my channel. If you have already subscribed my channel, please share my channel to one of your friends. Please like and comment my videos. All the very best for whatsoever purpose you are watching me, and thanks again.